Good afternoon, students. Welcome to your I Learn English language class. The chapter we are going to discuss today is chapter 7, the tenses, on page number 45 of your book. So we all know that tenses refers to time, and time is divided into three periods: the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. And all of these tenses are further divided into four kinds of tenses: the simple tense, the continuous tense, the perfect tense, and the perfect continuous tense. All these three periods of time are divided into four kinds of tenses: the simple tense, the continuous tense, the perfect tense, and the perfect continuous tense. So we will begin with the present tense. So the present tense, the first kind of present tense that we will study is the simple present tense. So first we will go to the formation or the structure of the simple present tense sentence. How is a simple present tense sentence formed? So follow in your book on page number 45 the form. The positive form of a simple present tense sentence. If the simple present tense sentence is positive, so how will it be formed? Subject plus the first form of the verb plus the rest of the predicate. So the simple present tense in the positive form is a very simple sentence. It begins with the subject, then we add the first form of the verb, and then the rest of the predicate comes in. For example, if I tell you, he plays every evening. So he is the subject, plays is the verb in the first form, and every evening is the rest of the predicate. So he, subject, plays, first form of the verb, plus the rest of the predicate, which is every evening. Now come to the negative form of the simple present tense. The negative form of the simple present tense is formed by subject plus does not or do not plus the first form of the verb plus the rest of the predicate. So subject plus does not or do not plus the first form of the verb plus the rest of the predicate. Does not or do not make the sentence negative here. Okay. So like I gave you the example of a simple present tense sentence. He plays every evening is in the simple present tense positive form. Now in the negative form, it will be he does not play every evening. He does not play every evening. That makes it a negative sentence. So subject is he, does not is negative form of the sentence plus the first form of the verb play plus rest of the predicate is every evening. He does not play every evening. It makes the sentence negative, but we are still in the simple present tense. The verb in the sentence is still in the simple present tense. Now, interrogative form of the simple present tense. What does interrogative mean? Interrogative means asking a question. Suppose we have to ask a question in the simple present tense, what will be the structure of the sentence? The structure of the sentence will be does or do plus subject plus the first form of the verb plus the rest of the predicate. Now in the same example that I gave you, now make it, if I turn it into a question, what will the question be? How will I frame the question? Does he play every evening? Does, see the form, the structure of the present tense interrogative form given in your book. So either do or does. So I'm using does. Subject is he, does he. The first form of the verb play plus the rest of the predicate, that is every evening. So the question will be, does he play every evening? So the same sentence in the simple present tense can be in the positive form, he plays every evening. Negative form, he does not play every evening. And then the question form or the interrogative form, does he play every evening? So here the verb is in the simple present tense in all these sentences. Only the sentence is either positive or negative or interrogative. Okay, now that the structure of the simple present tense sentences is clear, we will move on to the usage. Usage means where is simple present tense used? In what circumstances do we use the simple present tense? Now, please look into your books again. We use the simple present tense to talk about, underline the first one, habits or actions that get repeated. Habits or actions that get repeated, or some work that is done on a regular basis as a part of a routine. Please underline as part of a routine also. As part of a routine. We use the simple present tense to talk about habits or actions that get repeated, or some work that is done on a regular basis as part of a routine. What does this mean? This means that some actions which we do regularly, which we perform on a daily basis, which is a part of our routine. So I get up early every morning. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning. I go to school every morning. I walk to school every morning. I brush my teeth twice a day. So all these things are part of your routine, habits, actions which are habitual, actions which you perform regularly every day. So these are written in these kinds of sentences are always written in the simple present tense. Look at the examples. I walk to school every day. So that is a part of your routine. You do that every day. I usually play for an hour after school. So that you do every day after coming back from school. You play for an hour every day. That is part of your routine, part of your habit. So that it will be expressed in the simple present tense. Second point, all of you know this already. You have done universal truths. Underline universal truths means things which are true. We know that these are some scientific facts, some historical facts, some truths, which general truths of life, which we know that they are true, always true. They will never change. These universal truths will never change. They will remain the same. So these are expressed in the simple present tense. Like if I say the sun is bigger than the moon, or the earth revolves around the sun, or there are 9 planets in the solar system. These are all facts. These are all truths. The sun rises in the east, so rises is used in the simple present tense. Okay. And there can be other general truths of life, like honesty is the best policy. Honesty was the best policy. We will never say, because it is not, it is true. Even now, it is not in the past tense. We cannot express these things. Okay. The sun used to rise, or the sun rose in the east. We can't say that because it rises in the east. We know that it is a scientific fact. It is a general truth of life. All these universal truths are expressed in the simple present tense. So universal truths examples, please read. The earth revolves around the sun. Kangaroos carry their babies in their pouches. Okay, so this is a truth. This is what they do, generally do. So this is universal truths, which will always be expressed in the simple present tense. The third point, programs and timetables. So if you have already made a timetable, is already prepared for something, or a program is fixed in advance. So to express these kind of prefixed timetables and programs also, we use the simple present tense. Like the Rajdhani arrives at 12 a.m. every day in Prayagraj. The Rajdhani arrives at 12 a.m. every day in Prayagraj, which means that it is a fixed timetable. The train has a fixed time to reach Allahabad every day. So every day it arrives in Prayagraj at the fixed time of 12 a.m. So our flight lands at 6 p.m. So it is already planned. It is part of a timetable that the flight will land at 6 p.m. The play ends at 10 p.m. So we have already calculated the time that our program, the play will end at 10 p.m. So we use the simple present tense. We don't say that our flight is landing at 6 p.m. The flight lands at 6 p.m. We know that it is true that the flight will land at 6 p.m. now. Okay. So we also, now get back to page number 46. We also use the simple present tense with time expressions like in the morning, in the evening, in September, etc. So with these phrases, these are phrases in the morning, in the evening, in September, on Friday, in November, in December, in the afternoon. With these phrases also, we use the simple present tense. Like the sea route to Santorini is closed in December. Santorini is a place in Germany. So the sea route is closed in December. So in December is the phrase. So then we use the simple present tense. It is normally closed in December. So it is usual. It happens all the time. Okay, it is part of a habitual action, or a routine that the route is closed in December. So it will always be in the simple present tense. I like to have a cup of tea while sitting in the morning sun. So again, in the morning, that phrase has been used. So we will use the simple present tense. The verb in the simple present tense is like. So also on Friday mornings, on weekends, etc. As I told you, for the days of the week also, for the months also, if it is written on Fridays, on Saturdays, on weekends also, we use the simple present tense like I go out for a long walk on Friday evenings, or I normally go and have my lunch at McDonald's on Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. Okay. So like that, if you are referring to a day of the week on Friday, that means you are doing it regularly every Friday. So that is why we will use the simple present tense here. On alternate weekends, I visit grandpa and granny at their home. Alternate weekends means after every weekend, not every weekend. One weekend I go to granny, next weekend I don't, then another weekend I go. So that is alternate weekends. I visit. So that is also a part of your timetable program that you have made. You make it a habit that every week, every alternate weekend, I will go and visit grandpa and granny. So visit is the simple present tense. Also with adverbs of frequency. Which adverb of frequency you have just done? Always, usually, never, sometimes, etc. We use the simple present tense. With these adverbs of frequency, we use the simple present tense. Okay. I sometimes go up to the terrace at night to stare at the moon. So sometimes is the adverb of frequency. Therefore, we are using the simple present tense verb go. I sometimes go. I'm always up at 6 in the morning. So am is the simple present tense verb here. The verb here is am, and always is the adverb of frequency. And up is also in the simple present tense. Okay. I am always up. Up is the preposition here. So am is the verb here. Okay. In this sentence, am is the simple present tense verb. So with adverbs of frequency like always, usually, never, sometimes also, we use the simple present tense. So here we come to the end of the simple present tense, and now we will start with the present continuous tense. So present continuous tense, let us come to the form of the present continuous tense. Let us come to the form of the present continuous tense, the positive form of the present continuous tense. Please pay attention in your books, page number 46. How do we write the present continuous tense? How do we write it? Subject plus is plus be they have written. So in place of be, you can also write subject plus is oblique am oblique are. Write down is oblique am oblique are. Subject plus is oblique am oblique are plus the present participle of the main verb. It doesn't, present participle means plus the first form of the verb plus ing. In place of the present participle of the main verb, you can write verb plus ing. On top of it, write down verb plus ing. Verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. I am repeating my form, my positive form again, what I have told you right now to write, which will be simpler for you to understand. Write down, I am repeating it, please check if you have written it correctly. Subject plus is oblique am oblique are. Subject plus is oblique am oblique are plus verb plus ing plus rest of the predicate. Okay. Similarly, in the negative form of the present continuous tense, you will how will you frame the sentence? Subject plus, in place of on top of be, you can write again subject plus is or am or are, is oblique am oblique are plus verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. Negative form, write down subject plus is oblique am oblique are plus verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. Now come to the interrogative form of the present continuous tense. Now interrogative form of the present continuous tense will again ask a question. So pay attention to the formation. It's written be. So be again means is, am, or are. Is, am, or are. Right? On top of be, you can write is, am, or are. Is oblique am oblique are plus subject plus verb plus ing. In place of present participle of the main verb, write down plus verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. I am repeating the interrogative form again. Is oblique am oblique are plus subject plus verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. Okay, now I'm giving you examples of the three forms of the present continuous tense. First, the positive form. Suppose in the positive form, I say, Asim is sleeping. Is sleeping. So Asim is the subject. Is sleeping will be is. Be form will be is. Sleeping will be verb plus ing. On the bed, I can add Asim is sleeping on the bed. So on the bed will be rest of the predicate. So Asim subject plus is plus verb plus ing is sleeping plus on the bed is the rest of the predicate. Now the same sentence in the negative form will be Asim is not sleeping on the bed. So Asim is the subject, is the verb, the helping verb or the be verb. Then verb plus ing is sleep plus ing sleeping. Then the rest of the predicate on the bed. Asim is sleeping on the bed. Asim is not sleeping on the bed. So interrogative form, the same sentence in the interrogative form will be, is Asim sleeping on the bed? So is will be the be form of the verb. Subject will be Asim plus verb plus ing will be sleeping plus the rest of the predicate. So I'll repeat, the positive form of the sentence is Asim is sleeping on the bed. Negative form, Asim is not sleeping on the bed. Interrogative form, is Asim sleeping on the bed? Question mark. Okay. So these are the three kinds of structure, the structure of the formation of the three kinds of the present continuous tense sentences. Now let us see where is the present continuous tense used. You all know that the present continuous tense will be used when will it be used? It will be used when an action is going on at the time of speaking. At the time I'm speaking, the action is going on, then the sentence will be in the present continuous tense. Like, I am teaching class 8 now. So at the present moment, at the time I'm talking, at the time of speaking, I am teaching class 8. So I am the subject, am is the be verb, teaching is the verb plus ing, class 8 now is my predicate. I am teaching class 8 now. So something, the first point, see, something that is happening at the time of speaking. So at the time I'm speaking, what am I doing? I'm teaching class 8 English language. So this is the present continuous form of the verb. Where is it used? When you are talking of an action which is happening, which is going on at the time of speaking. The second point, temporary situations that are occurring only in the present time. So there are some situations which are not going on, which do not happen every day, but some odd day, these actions are taking place. They do not happen on a regular basis, but now on a temporary basis, they are occurring in the present time. Okay, so now look at the example carefully. I usually walk to school, but today I'm riding my bicycle to school. So every day I walk to school. That is my routine. But today, what am I doing at today? At the present moment, I am riding my cycle. So am riding. Am is the be form of the verb. Riding is the continuous form of the verb. So am riding. Something which does not happen regularly, but at present, it is happening. Okay. She generally goes to church on Sundays, but today she is going to her uncle's house. So every Sunday she goes to the church. But this Sunday she is going to her uncle's house. So some action which does not take place every Sunday, every day does not take place. It does not regularly or usually happen at that moment. But now at the present it is happening. At the present moment it is taking place. So such situations are called temporary situations. Okay. In these temporary situations, we use the present continuous tense. Now, come to page number 47. Please see on the top. We also use the present continuous tense with time expressions. Underline time expressions. Which time expressions do we use in which we use the present continuous tense? Underline now, right now, today, at the moment, this week, this year, or this weekend. For example, Rohit is studying right now. I am teaching class 8 English language right now. The children are listening to me right now. Okay, so something which you are doing just now in the present, and the time expressions are there in the sentence. Which time expressions? These which you have just underlined: now, right now, today. At the moment I am teaching them, the present tenses. At the moment I am teaching the class, the present tenses. So I use I am teaching here because I am using the phrase, the time expression, at the moment. Therefore, we will use the present continuous tense in such cases. Rohit is studying right now. So right now is the time expression. That means he's doing it right now. He's still doing it. He's continuing to do it right now at the moment of speaking. So we will use the present continuous tense. Sophie is dancing at the concert this weekend. That's again the time expression this weekend is given. So in this case, although she is not doing it now, but the meaning is that this weekend she will be dancing at the concert. Therefore, we use the present continuous tense. With these time expressions, we use the present continuous tense. So, state verbs. What are state verbs? State verbs are verbs that do not usually have a continuous form. So, there are some verbs which do not have a continuous form at all. Like we always tell you in school, ma'am, I'm having a problem. You all come up with this. Ma'am, I'm having a problem. So what do I tell you? That you are not eating. You're not eating the problem. Okay. Having is used only to express that you are eating something. I'm having my lunch. I'm having my dinner. I'm having my breakfast right now. I'm having is used to express only eating. So you're not eating your problem. Ma'am, I'm having a problem. Generally, students say this. But in this case, I will tell you that these verbs, what do you want to say? You want to say that I have a problem. But generally, students forget, and they, in spoken English, they say I'm having a problem. Having a problem means you're eating your problem. No, I have a problem. So there are some verbs which do not have a continuous tense. Okay, which do not have a continuous tense, and children generally misuse these words by adding ing to these verbs. They misuse it. So like if I say, I agree with you. I agree with you. I will never say I am agreeing with you, which is wrong English, because agree does not have a present continuous tense form. It cannot be used in the continuous form. The verb agree, disagree, these verbs cannot be used in the continuous form. So let us begin with the first point. This is very important because generally students misuse these verbs. Verbs of the senses. Now, what are the senses? What are the five senses? You all know: eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. So, verbs of the senses are what? Underline. Verbs of the senses like feel. You feel with the skin. Hear. You hear with your ears. See. You see with your eyes. Smell. You smell with your nose, and taste. You taste with your tongue. So, these are verbs of the senses. These cannot be used in the continuous form. Never use these in the continuous form except for some words which do have an exception, which we will discuss later on. Can and could are often used with these words. With these words, we often use can and could, the modal verbs can and could. Let us see the example. Please speak louder. I can't hear you. So can't we have used here, the can verb, modal verb can't, and then hear. I can't hearing you is wrong. I can't hear you. With these verbs which have verbs of the senses, we cannot use the continuous tense. I can taste as much of that dish as you want me to. I can taste. It cannot be I can be tasting as much of the dish. I can taste. It will remain in the present form, simple present form. It can never be in the continuous form. These verbs of the senses can never be in the continuous form. Verbs of feelings and emotions. Underline feelings and emotions. Underline. These feelings and emotion verbs can never be in the continuous form. The words are feel, want, desire, like, dislike, fear, love, hate, care, wish, respect, appreciate. These are words which express some feeling or emotion. I am caring for my mother. Wrong English. I care for my mother. I am liking this dress. Wrong English. And you use it very often. The children write these things in the essays. I am liking this dress. So it is wrong in English. The verbs which express feelings and emotions are never used in the continuous form. I like this dress. I care for my mother. I care for my family. I am caring for my family. Wrong English. Okay. So third point, verbs of mental states and activity. Underline mental state. What is your mental state now? In which mental state you are, and activity also. Like I told you before, agree, disagree, I believe. You cannot say I believe in ghosts. I am not believing in ghosts. Wrong English. Believe cannot be used in the continuous form. The word believe, agree, disagree, disbelieve, differ, doubt, find. I'm finding my book, ma'am. I'm finding my book is wrong English. First of all, you will say I'm looking for my book. Okay. And then I find. Find here is used in the sense of my mental state. I find this chapter very difficult. I find this chapter very difficult. So this is your mental state. You find the chapter difficult. So you say, I find this chapter difficult. You never say, I'm finding this chapter. I am finding, it has a completely different meaning than I find. I find means you feel that this chapter is difficult. You believe that this chapter is difficult. So these verbs will never be used in the continuous form. Let us read the examples also. I recollect. Recollect means what? That you remember something. Recollect something from the past. You remember some past incident is recollect. I recollect there were 6 people at the scene that day. You will never say, I am recollecting. Wrong English. I think we should go to the book fair. So think, again, think is a state of mind. Your mental state describes your mental state. The verb think. So you will never say, I am thinking. It is wrong English. I think, and many of you say that, ma'am, I am thinking that I will not come to school tomorrow. I am thinking is wrong. I think I will not be able to come to school tomorrow, ma'am. I think I will not be able to come. This is a mental state, verb of a mental state. So you can never use it in the present continuous tense. Next point, verbs showing possession. This is a very common mistake again which students make. Ma'am, I am having this pen. I am having this book. No, I already have explained to you just now, having only means eating. Okay, so I have this book. I have this pen. Okay, you never say I am having this book, ma'am. Wrong. Having means you are eating the book. Okay. The words which show belonging or possession are belong, own, possess. These are the words. I own this car. I am owning this car. Wrong. It is never I am owning this car. It is always I own this car. I own this house. That means this house belongs to me. We can either use belong or belongs because both are in the simple present tense, but never belonging. This house is belonging to me. Wrong English. This house belongs to me. This car belongs to me. I possess a white Santro. I have a white Santro. That means, okay. So for words like which show belongingness, like belong, own, possess, we never use the present continuous tense. Gandhi belongs to a generation of selfless freedom fighters. Not Gandhi is belonging. Never. Okay. The fifth point of the state verbs. Verbs like seem, appear, cost, consist, contain, resemble. Again, underline these words. These words also express some kind of state. Seem means looks like. Appears also means the same. Appears means looks like something. Cost. This mobile phone cost me 16,000 rupees. This mobile is costing me 16,000. Wrong. Cost. This phone costs me 16,000 rupees. Okay. Cost me 16,000 rupees. Consist, contain, resemble. She resembles her mother. She resembles her mother means she looks like her mother. She is resembling her mother. We say this and we think that we are correct. We are not correct. These verbs, please understand, these verbs which you have studied, the state verbs right now, are not used in the present continuous tense. Although there are some exceptions always in grammar, and the exceptions are mentioned on the next page. We will go to that. But first, let's do the fifth point. Verbs like seem, appear, cost, consist, contain, resemble are never used in the continuous form. This dish contains mushrooms. We will not say this dish is containing mushrooms. This dish contains mushrooms. This electric kettle costs 2,000 rupees. We will never say this electric kettle is costing. Like I gave you the example of the mobile phone also. Okay. So these are some of the verbs which we have to keep in mind. These are state verbs which are never used, which do not have a continuous form at all. Which do not have a continuous form. And next page we will see that what is the difference if some of these state verbs are used in the continuous form, then what is the difference? The cucumber tastes fresh and crunchy. So we are talking about the taste of the cucumber here. But in the next sentence, we are using it as an action verb. Action. The action of tasting is being done. Dad is tasting the coffee for sugar. So he is performing the action of tasting. Then we can use is tasting the coffee to see if the sugar is properly put in the coffee. Eliana thinks she can climb mountains without any training. Again, thinks is a state verb, means believes. Eliana believes she can do this. Then we will not use the present continuous tense. She is thinking about learning French. She is thinking means she is considering. She is giving it a thought. Then we can use thinking as a continuous form. When you are thinking, giving something a thought, when you are considering about something. Your forehead feels warm. That means your forehead is warm. You have a temperature. But when I say the nurse is feeling Sunil's forehead to check if he has fever, that means she's performing the action of touching his forehead. Then we can say is feeling his forehead means that she's doing the action, performing the action of touching the forehead. Meeta has 3 cute pups. So has means she has with herself 3. She possesses 3 pups. 3 pups belong to Meeta. Mom is having her tea late this morning. Again, I told you is having always means to have something to eat, something to drink, something. So is having is used only when you are eating or drinking something. Don't you see how hopeless the situation is? Don't you see here means don't you understand how hopeless the situation is? We are seeing the Das Guptas this evening. Here, are seeing does not mean you are looking at something. It means that you are meeting the Das Guptas. There is a difference between seeing as in look. You are looking at something, then you will use see. But when you are meeting, in this case, we are seeing the Das Gupta. See is used in the continuous form, seeing, but that means meeting. Seeing here refers to meeting the Das Guptas. The coffee smells delicious. That means the coffee is so delicious and smell is delicious. That is a state verb of senses. That is your sense, which we discussed. The sense of smell. Gargi is smelling the curry. That means when are you using smelling? Because Gargi is performing the action of sniffing at the curry. Sniffing means you deliberately go near the curry and try to take in the aroma of the curry into your senses. That is, she's performing the act of going and sniffing inside the curry. Then you can use is smelling because she's performing that action. But when you are talking about it in the sense of smelling, in the sense you are smelling something, in the when you use it in the sense of the verb of the senses, then you do not use it in the continuous tense. Rahul enjoys the cuisine of Kerala. Cuisine means the kind of food that is served in Kerala, that is popular in Kerala. Enjoys. Enjoys is again means likes. So Rahul is enjoying the cuisine. We will not use here. The kids are really enjoying the animations. That means they are enjoying the animations. They are performing the action of enjoying. Here enjoys refers to an action, and here in the first example enjoys refers to a feeling of enjoying. And here in the second example it is an action verb. They are enjoying doing something. It looks like they are going to be really late today. Looks here refers to appears. It appears that they are going to be late today. I believe that they are going to be late today. So that is a verb which is showing your mental state. Again, Vinita is looking out of the window. Then you can use look with ing, looking, because she is performing the action of observing something which is outside the window. So the difference is that when you are the mental state looks, the mental state appears, the mental state enjoys will not be in the continuous tense, and the action which you perform, if it is showing an action which you are performing, then it can be in the continuous tenses. Now we'll come to the present perfect tense on page number 50, present perfect tense, and I will discuss quickly the forms of the present perfect tense. The positive form of the present perfect tense. Subject plus has or have plus past participle of the verb plus rest of the predicate. Very clear. I have done this in class 7 also. Subject plus has or have. In the perfect tense we use has or have plus the past participle of the verb or the third form of the verb plus the predicate. Like I have read that book. I is the subject, have plus read is the past form of the verb or the third form of the verb plus the book is the predicate, that book. Now negative form will have what? Subject plus has or have not plus the past participle of the verb plus the rest of the predicate. Everything remains the same except for in a negative sentence we will add not. So let me give an example of the same example again as a negative sentence. I have not read that book. I is the subject. We use have, not, plus read is the third form of the verb, plus the rest of the predicate is that book. I have read that book. I have not read that book. The interrogative form, has or have. We will start the interrogative, the question form of the sentence with has or have, plus subject, plus the past form of the verb, and then the rest of the predicate. Same example, if you ask it as a question, have you read that book? Question mark. So we begin with have, then the subject, which is you, then past form of the verb, which is read, and then the rest of the predicate, that is that book. Have you read that book? Okay. These are the structure. This is the structure of the present perfect tense in the positive, negative, and interrogative form. Now we come to the usage. Where is present perfect tense used? Present perfect tense is used, first point, an event or incident that took place in the recent past with their results having an effect on the present. Something which took place in the past, some event or some accident or incident which happened in the past, but its effect is felt in the present. Effect of that is felt in the present. For example, I have forgotten my cell phone at home. I can't make a call now. So since I have forgotten my phone at home in the past, but I can't make a call now because of that, then perfect tense. Then we use the present perfect tense. An event that took place in the past whose exact timing is not known. So an event has taken place in the past, but we don't know what time exactly the event had taken place. Then we use the present perfect tense, like the music company has released a new album of devotional songs. Has released a new album of devotional songs. So maybe it has been released in the past, but we don't know the exact timing when the music album was released. So we will use the present perfect tense. An event that began in the past, but which continues up to the present. So an event or any incident that started in the past, but is still continuing in the present. I have known him since he was 6 years old. That means I knew him since he was 6 years old, and I still know him. I still continue to know him. So then we use the present perfect tense, have known. I have known him since he was 6 years old. Again, to present perfect tense is also used to relate our experiences. What experiences? I have seen all the animations on that hard disk. I have seen all the beautiful places in my town. So I have seen them. So this is my experience. So I refer to it in the present perfect tense. Our experiences, when you use the words ever or never with the present perfect. Underline, if you use ever or never with the present perfect tense, then you relate your experience, then also we use the present perfect tense. I have never gone snorkeling in the sea. That means I have never done snorkeling before in the sea. So we use the present perfect tense, have gone. Okay, along with the words never and ever, if you are relating your experience using the words ever and never. If you are relating your experience using the words ever or never, then we use the present perfect tense. Have you ever come first in an examination? So this is used with the word ever. So therefore we will use the present perfect tense. Never is used only in positive sentences. I have never been on a boat. Mom has never eaten mushrooms. Why in positive sentences they are saying? Because this has never been done by them. They have not done this action ever before. Therefore, with never, we use the present perfect tense. Now come to the present perfect continuous tense. The usage is not much, only the formation. We will discuss the structure of the present perfect continuous tense. So all of you please pay attention and write while I am telling you. The positive form of the present perfect continuous tense. Subject plus has or have plus been plus the present participle means in the place of the present participle you can write verb plus ing. Verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. So I'll repeat the positive form. Subject plus has or have plus been plus verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate will be used in the present perfect continuous tense in the positive form. Negative form, only what will change is we will add subject plus have or has been, not plus, sorry, subject plus has or have, then not, then been, then verb plus ing. Present participle means verb plus ing plus rest of the predicate. Negative form of the verb, subject plus has or have, not plus been plus verb plus ing plus the predicate. Now come to the interrogative form of the present perfect continuous tense. We will begin with the question with the has or have. Has oblique have plus subject plus been plus verb plus ing plus the rest of the predicate. Interrogative form, has or have plus subject plus been plus verb plus ing plus rest of the predicate. So present perfect continuous tense has both the perfect tense and the continuous tense. So has or have for the perfect tense and ing for the continuous tense. So we will use has, have plus been plus verb plus ing in the present perfect continuous tenses. Where are the present perfect continuous tenses used? An action that began in the past but is still continuing. Again, present perfect continuous tense will be used when action begins in the past but is still continuing in the present. I have been living in this house since my childhood. So since my childhood, I had lived in that house and I'm still continuing to live in this house. Have been living. An action that has recently stopped and yet has some effect on the present. For example, an action which has just been completed. Immediately, just now it has been completed and it has some effect on the present moment also. Like, I have been studying really hard. I've been studying really hard. What is the effect? My grades have improved. So if I have been studying really hard, the effect on the present will be that my grades, my marks will improve. So this is where the present perfect continuous tense is used. Some action which began in the past but is continuing till now, and also some action which began in the past but its effect is felt in the present. Its effect is felt in the present time. So this is how and where the present perfect continuous tense will be used.